Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are bringing you Yellow Frieza. This is a deck we've not had in the channel yet. I was going through a list of the leaders that I hadn't done yet. Realised I hadn't actually done a play guide on Frieza yet, which is surprising because it was one of the first decks I actually played. Absolutely love this leader. I think out of all of the leader effects, his is by far the most busted. Just being able to untap 2 of your battle cards every turn. You know, you can attack with your blockers, attack with your boss monsters if you want to restand them. As a tendency, I tend not to restand the boss monsters because they're far easier to defend. But yeah, if it's kind of like a situation where they're the only things we have on board, then yeah, we tend to untap them. But yeah, I'm going to go into some games first with Frieza. And then from there we will show you the deck list that we're currently working with. This might not be the most streamlined list. I think that I've got to do a lot more testing with Frieza to understand what its weaknesses are. I've done a lot of testing with Red. I think that's kind of the deck I'm maining in the physical card game, so I've been putting a lot more time into Red than I have anything else to try and understand matchups and where weaknesses lie, which Broly was the big one. But yeah, I've not had a chance to do the same with most other colours and most other decks. I think Blue's probably my next most played. So we have had a bit of time to test that. But with Frieza, we'll just jump in, we'll see how the game goes. And we seem to have the mirror. So this game's going to come down to board control and who gets to awaken first. This is a keepable hand, so we're going to keep that. And if we go second here, we're laughing. I actually didn't check. Yeah, we are second. Cool. So we have our turn 1s, our turn 2, and this will be our turn 3. I'd never mind spending the energy marker to establish this. Once he's on board, he is nigh on impossible to remove for yellow. Obviously, they can rest him and then swing into him, but he's easily defendable. I don't particularly want to charge this. So I think we're just going to charge one of the 4 drops. We run 3 of these, so we'll charge that. We'll just copy him. We'll play the Sorbet. Oh, that's even perfect. Oh god. Right. If we have 2 of these, it's perfect because on our turn 3 we establish one with the energy marker, and then into our turn 4 we just establish another one. And at that point it's so difficult for him to do anything for us. We can just constantly remove his 2 drops. This is the power of this, and it's the power of Cooler with this leader because he untaps, so both of these can attack in the turn, which means that they're 30k attackers that will rest and kill something 2 or less on each attack, and then we get to untap them, and then we can do that all over again on the block, which is crazy, crazy good. And of course we're going to take that. So he obviously didn't open with a Self-Awakener, unless he did and he just didn't want to put his down first, but let's see what happens. No, I'm gonna guess he didn't. So I don't run any of this card, I'm not a big believer in it. Let's see what he grabbed there. Sorry, before we decide anything, I want to know what he grabbed off of that effect. He drew the 1 cost, okay, so that's fine. We're gonna charge one of these, we don't need both. And then we just attack. Into Ginyu. And then we'll just attack lead. We'll probably rest one of these. Doesn't really matter which. I think I am going to combo just in case he has drawn into another one of these, or into one of these. No, we're not. Sorry, not combo. I think we're just going to swing into it. So we'll leave it there. We'll swing the Sorbet into his. Just want to prove that my Sorbet is superior. Oh, wow! Are you kidding me? Why would you dump a 10k on that? My guy. That's wild. Why would you save that card? Okay. And then next turn we are going to really get out of control. We're going to establish this and it's just going to keep his board completely in check. All of his 1 drops will be dead, all of his 2 drops will be dead. and he can't do anything about it. Ideally, we want to try and awaken on that turn, because otherwise we can't really attack with it, we just have to defend with it. Because we don't want to risk him killing this. Plus, we also don't want to put him into his awaken before we get to ours. The Frieza match, or at least the mirror match, is very much just a game of attrition. It's pretty much attrition across the board anyway. Yeah, have it, man. Tempted to super combo and be like, no, you're going to save yours, I'll save mine. But yeah, Frieza's very much just a game of attrition. Keeping your hand up, keeping your board up, and just whittling theirs down at the same time. And then we just pressure with 20Ks and 20Ks and 20Ks is pretty much the idea. 2 Rukums into Ginyu most likely. I'm not going to save this, and the main reason being is that I want him to swing into our leader. We're not going to get the awaken though, which is the problem. And we need to control that board. Do we save actually? Do we save? Because he's likely only going to have these 2. Well, he still has 2 energy open. Maybe he's not. Maybe he'll have something else behind. I think it's going to cost us too much. I'd love to see him swing here and then play something else and swing with that. That would be so good for us. Yeah, if he passes, that's fine for us as well. Want to keep that. I think we just charge the Guldo. I'm not all that fussed about it. So, we could either have 2 attempts at this. It's going to cost us a card from hand if we want to take something from him, but he's just going to combo something off board. So, we're just going to go straight into this now. We're going to rest and KO the Ginyu. And then we'll just leave that up there. If he decides to save it, that's fine with us. We don't mind that. It's going to cost him 2 of these and 1 from hand. Or 1 from hand and 1 of these, depending on if he has a 10k. But again, either way, I think we're happy with that. Which is dead. It's beautiful. We are going to swing leads here. Unfortunately, he's going to get his awaken guaranteed now. We wanted that draw, but the next turn we can do some shenanigans here. We could either go into a second one of these, or we could field a couple of draw Ginyus with this. But we'll see what happens. We'll see how the his turn progresses. So he's charged a Ginyu and he's used a Ginyu, so we don't know how many more he has, but the Rakum is the problem, obviously, because it plays it out for free. That he gets 2 20k battle cards for 1 energy. Absolute insane value. So it's one of the reasons why I'm tempted to field another one of these, because next turn we can clear off both, which means that he needs to spend energy to establish a Frieza clan. Sorry, not clan, Frieza army. Before he can really get that Ginyu effect. We're just going to defend this. But the issue is we don't have a 10k. But I think we super to save it. I think he's definitely winning the game of attrition. If we draw into either a Zarbon or a Knees, we're going to go for both. Rather than establish this, because we need that awaken. The ideal situation would be a Rakum. Actually, no, it wouldn't, because we can't play the Rakum. Or at least we could play the Rakum, but we can't get the Ginyu to untap the energy without having another Frieza clan. Yeah, we'll combo the Sorbet because I think the Ginyus are more useful. I think no matter what gear we need to get 2 Self-Awakeners. We don't see it yet, which is unfortunate. I think we keep this. We'll charge again, you. Never feels good, but I think we kind of had to. And what we're probably going to do on our lead swing is we're going to swing for 35, and then we'll lock that down with the Supernova. So we'll swing first, see what we get. Okay, so it's a super combo. Actually, no, we should have swung with this first, that was stupid. Yeah, so he blocks that, that's fine by us. Kind of surprised he blocked that. We don't get into his leader on the power base anyway. Let's take the life, we'll see what we get here. Okay, so it's another Ginyu. Yeah, I think we want to keep this inactive, so I think we swing this and then we Supernova and lock that down, so we go 40k. We'll go 40k, we'll force more than a super or he takes the damage, and we get to lock this down for the next turn. So we're definitely winning this attrition. He's awakened, we still have a life to take, plus our awakened draw. And we're ahead on hand size, which is always nice. We're going to keep this for the defensive, if we need to. Very tempted to swing, but I'd much rather keep that up for the block. Although he could run this. But if he runs that, then this is the only threat we have to worry about. The Ginyus we don't really care about because they're going to have to combo high health to get out of it, or to get over it. Yeah, I think we can just pass, honestly. I don't really like playing these before our Awaken because we can't untap them. It just means it's just like a Sorbet effectively. You know, they're going to kill it. So at that point it just becomes a Sorbet. We don't get the recursive value out of it, but he's done a good job of starving our Awaken. I think I've kind of been a bit lax with how we've played this. We're not gonna do the skill, we'll see if he combos. Which he doesn't, so we're gonna combo, we're gonna give him a Ginyu, we'll just protect it. Because whatever he plays, he's gonna probably keep swinging into this, but we're gonna block one of them. And if it's a 2 cost, it'll kill it. Okay, so he has his own killer as well. But that's fine by us, he can't play anything else that's really going to be a threat this turn. We need a Raccoon, desperately. Okay, there we go. There it is. We desperately needed a Raccoon. Sure, we could just go into this turn. I'm not against doing that. We can lock this down permanently. Even swing at this. We go up to the 35. We don't want to go in 2 cards, so we're going to play this and we're going to rest that 10k. Sorry, I should say that 10k combo. this out. So we have our awaken. Why didn't he untap that? Okay. I think we just charge this. Or do we charge the cooler actually? Yeah, I think we charge the cooler. I don't think we're going to get to establish him again. Yeah, we'll do that. Let's swing at leader. We'll rest this. We don't really care about the KO. We just want that in rest because we can lock it down. Probably just going to swing at this with the leader actually, get the draw. And even though I don't think we're going to attack life for this, I think we swing into the King Cold will force a response in hand if he wants to protect it. But we're going to lock this down for sure. Sorbet does not help. Again, if he wants to protect the King Cold, we're fine with that. I don't see us managing to protect both of these this turn. Yeah, we figured a super combo would come out for that. But we are perfectly fine with that. So he's likely going to do his 5-drop this turn, I'd imagine. Probably lock down ours. Likely attack this. We've got to be careful because he has a lot of attackers, even with that 5-drop. So we don't want to expend our entire hand protecting this. We are going to welcome that with open arms. Not a big fan of this playline. I know that for 5 energy you're getting out 2 bodies, but honestly, it's a big investment. You're getting 2 cards out of hand as well. Just gonna awaken, see what we draw. We draw a 10k. Okay, so we have to be careful because when we attack the cooler, he's likely going to just take this on the chin, and then just KO the cooler. Yeah, we're happy to take this one. Not the best, but not the worst. The fact he's not attacking into this, I think, is a mistake. He really needs to get this cleared. Because he has no way of locking this down. Okay, so he's going to pass. And he can only untap these 2. This is the beauty of this card, like being able to lock that out even off the Frieza lead skill, where at the end of the turn he untaps 2. Because this is locked down until the end of his turn, which means after that effect resolves. That could be helpful for us. So, I think we're going to charge the Zarbon. We would love to see a block here, because we can rest the other blocker, and we're not going to swing over this. So we'll see if he chooses to block. Which is fine by us. That's beautiful, because we're just going to swing this into leader. We'll rest that. We'll probably have to combo this off, I think. So we'll rest that, which means that he is no longer able to kill this on a KO. So that was a bit of a mistake on his part, I think. So we're currently 30. I think we maybe just put on a 10. And then if we swing here, we can go 50, and then we don't have anything we can rest, but honestly, I'm not really against this. We'll Sorbet first. Let's do the Sorbet, let's see what we draw. Okay, another Sorbet, which I think is fine. I think we do it again. We're drawing a cooler, which is a potential. We could cooler this turn, but I don't think it's really worth it. Yeah, I think we don't look to kill him this turn, I don't think. Or maybe we do. So is that 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 105, right? And he's got 4 cards in hand, so that'd be 30. Let's see, 3 of these are super combos. He has used 1, I believe. Oh, he's used 2. Okay. Yeah, and he's tapped out. We just go for this. You can't get out of this. So even if both of them are supers, that's going to be 60k, and then 70, 80, 90. It won't be enough. Yeah, so while he did a good job of starving our resources, I think leaving this on board was a big mistake. Also blocking that leader attack was a mistake. Yeah. I think that's just all-round matchup knowledge. I think kind of let him down there. But we'll go over the list and we'll show you what we're working with currently. By no means am I saying that this is optimized, it's the list that I'm currently playing with. Right, so let's just go into this. Check the deck. So we run 4 Ginyus, 1-drops. I didn't get to play them at all that turn, but if we can get to our Awaken on curve, you know, it's a great idea just to tap 1. Play this, rest it, and then at the end of the turn we can untap it, which means that they have to forcefully remove it, or we get multiple draws. I love it. I think it's a great card just for that. 4 Sorbets, because it's a cantrip, why not? Best turn 1 play in the game pretty much, is just to play a cantrip. We have the 4 Friezas, this mainly because it's a 10k and we can rest anything, which again, we can rest blockers, we can rest big threats that we maybe want to lock with our 5-drop, etc. So it's very good, all-round, very versatile card. I love this. We run 4 Ginyus. We have the SPR as well. Again, we run a lot of Frieza armies, so why not? It's a free 20k body if you know, if we can keep our field up. I know a lot of people don't run this Guldo, but I actually quite like it. There's times where I've gone into the very long game with Broly or any green deck, and just being able to tap 2 and lock down that Broly, meaning we don't ever need to try and remove it. We can just swing at his face or swing at other battle cards or whatever without having to deal with the Broly, and just being able to tap 2 and lock it down, it's very good. I like it. We run 2 needs. There is my issue is the ratio on these 2 here. Because we run Raccoon and we run Ginyus, I prefer the Zarbon because it's a Frieza's army. And Knees also has the problem of you must take the life. It's good in the early turns where you want to take the life, but if I just want to play a 20k body that has blocker, I have to pay a life for it with the knees. So for me, I think 3 and 2 is fine. You could maybe even argue 3 and 3 and try and cut something else somewhere along the line, but I'm not a huge fan of this card. I'm just not. I know a lot of people do prefer this over Zarbon, but in the later game, you can't really feel free to play a 20k battle card because you are going to have to pay for it, not just by energy but by your life as well. Run 4 of the Self-Awakened Frieza is probably the best Self-Awakener in the game, let's face it. You know, you can rest a card, take a life, it's always good. 3 Rakums, we only run 3. I think the list is tight. I think because we run the Guldos, we don't really have a lot of flexibility, and another reason why I like Guldo is he is a 10k. This deck is very starved for 10k combos, which you'll see in a minute. So yeah, so I think 3 Rakums is fine. You know, we can always just tap 2 and play the Ginyu from hand without fielding 2 battle cards, and you know, we can just play it for free. Yeah, I think I'm quite happy with these ratios personally. Run 2 of these mainly because it's a 10k, and on the other side it is also a 25k attacker. That's pretty much the only reason for it. We run 3 of the Coolers, you know, one of the best 4-drops in the game as well, being able to constantly clear board and rest stuff, and it's a 30k attacker just outright. It's very, very strong. We run 3 of the Frieza 40ks. Again, we get to attack with it, we get to untap it off the lead effect, so this is just a recurring attacker every turn that's difficult to remove for them. We also run 3 Friezas. I don't think I would run more than that. I don't think I would run less than that in this list. I think 3 is perfect. 4 super combos, 2 supernovas, and 3 death balls. Just to go over the extras in case you don't know, I know I showed them both in the game, but supernova will give plus 20k to an attacking card on your turn only, so it is an only on your turn card. But it'll give plus 20k power, and we can lock something down which is 4 or less. It's insanely strong. There's even an argument for me to run 2 of these and 3 of these, honestly. I just like the versatility of this being defensively usable as well. But yeah, Supernova is such a strong card. It really is. You know, in the mirror match, being able to lock down your opponent's coolers or your opponent's 4-drops if you can rest them, you know, without them restanding it, etc. Very, very good. Also, the card that is locked, there is no way to untap it. So I don't think there's anything in the game currently that allows you to untap a battle card on your turn. Not with its own effect anyway. But yeah, if at any point that ever comes around, you know, if you know, it says like, you know, untap a Frieza army 4 or less, for example, you know, they can't untap that because this effect stops them from untapping it entirely. And again, through your opponent's turn, they can't untap this at the end of their turn. So very, very good card. I think all round very versatile, very good. Plus it's plus 20k, meaning that all of your 20ks are very viable threats. Yeah, and then Death Ball is just a plus 15k on either player's turn, and we can rest something 3 or less. That rest comes up very few times, to be honest. It's mainly just for the 15k that we do that. More often than not, you know, it's mainly just offensive, where we just rest something if we ever want to go into it. You know, if we're in the mirror match, we can rest any of this and then maybe attack into it if we don't want to give them the card in hand, and just sort of control that board. So there's a lot of ways to be very versatile with Frieza. I think, like I said, this list is good. I just don't necessarily think that it's the most optimized. I probably need to do a bit more research on that to find out what lists are topping and maybe take some inspiration from their lists. You'll also notice that I don't run the Zarbon 1 cost. It's very specifically only adds Friezas. And we have a lot of good cards here that are not Friezas. You know, Rakums, Ginyus, Coolers, even your Self-Awakeners besides this one. I'm not a big fan of the Zarbon personally. It is a Frieza army, so it does enable the Rakum early, but so is Sorbet, and so is Ginyu. So for me, it's kind of, I think it's kind of a take it or leave it. I think it's like a dealer's choice kind of thing. I think I just personally don't see the benefit in it, and in most decks, I'm not a big fan of a top 5 search, which in the old Dragon Ball, we used to always get to shuffle your deck. You know, there was always the chance of seeing what you miss on, or what you whiff on, or what you choose not to pick up. But in this game, because all the cards go at the bottom of the deck, you're never going to see them again, most likely. So I'm not a big fan of top 5 searchers, personally. Not unless it's for absolutely busted cards. I think that you just tend to strike out more than not. I think the one that U7 has, which is a top 5 for any U7, because you can at least grab your super combos, it's worth it. But this specifically says Frieza. So until they bring out a Frieza super combo, I don't think I would run Zarbon in any of my lists personally, but that is just me. Take it or leave it. You know, I'm sure other people have other ideas on it, but for me, I don't think I need to run more than 8 one cost, and plus it is a 5k as well. So I think that's another issue that Yellow has, is that it just fields millions of 5k combos between the Ginyus, between the Self-Awakener, the Zarbon, the Raccoon, the 4 cost. There's so many 5ks in this deck that I don't feel comfortable putting more in, but that's my take. If anybody else obviously feels different, feel free to hit me up in the comments. I'm always interested in knowing what deck lists you have out there and what you would maybe change. But yeah, I think Frieza all round definitely a tier 1 leader. It's just so versatile. It gives you so much value for everything you play. So 100% if you are climbing that ladder, consider Frieza. It's very good. Obviously you do need a lot of the SRs that are from the set. So if you are trying to be free to play or relatively free to play, you might find it a bit more difficult to climb that ladder. But I think I am at some point soon. I am going to put out a profile around budget lists. There'll be very quick videos, probably 10-minute videos, just to discuss the options and see what we can get through. But yeah, once again everybody, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.